Darth Vader was known to have two emotions prior to discovering Luke Skywalker: unhinged anger and pure coldness. But there were a few moments in his life as a Sith Lord where he experienced some form of joy, one of which took place in the wilderness following his greatest failure. It took place right after the Battle of Yavin, where Vader was barely able to survive in his starfighter. Despite flying in a severely damaged advanced TIE, Vader's expertise in piloting as well as his ability to harness his anger allowed him to take control of the starfighter long enough to arrive within an Imperial-held planet. The thing was, this planet was a backwater that held only a small outpost in the middle of nowhere. On top of that, the three Imperials on the base were accustomed to being left alone on this inconsequential world, with them spending more time fighting their boredom than actually doing their duty. So when Vader crash-landed nearby, none of them were aware of his existence, and thus the Sith Lord was left to fend off the wilderness of the planet on his own. When Vader finally left his starfighter and began to explore the planet, for the very first time the feeling of freedom came upon him. Here, in the middle of nowhere, he was no one's master, no longer beholden to anyone but himself. Unfortunately for him, this peace of mind was quickly shattered when the Sith Lord was attacked by the wildlife of the planet. Vader made swift work of the beasts that attacked him, cutting multiple of them in half with ease. Eventually, Vader took out the beast's leader, causing the rest of the pack to back off in fear and perhaps in respect. Vader felt these emotions emit from the creatures, and for the first time in his darkness, he felt an exhilarating rush of joy and the feeling of being alive. For the first time in his life, he had made a choice of his own free will, without it being ordered upon by his Sith master. As well, he had gained the fear and respect of beings on his own, without it being forced upon the officers and stormtroopers he led in the Empire. As night fell, Vader decided to rest. He realized the Imperial outpost on the planet and concluded he could reach it by the next day. But a thought dwelled deep within him that he desired to remain in the wild a little longer to extend the rush of his new feelings. During the short night, the same pack that had attacked Vader earlier came near. But instead of seeking to attack him again, they came to pay tribute. They brought the corpse of their last leader and signified Vader to be their new chief of their pack. Once more, Vader felt the emotions he once believed were forever gone, the feeling of being proud of himself. As once again, Vader had achieved something all on his own, with his newly acquired sense of freedom. Following that, Vader accepted the beasts as his own. Throughout the night, his new pack stayed near and protected him from the other dangers of the wild. As the morning came, Vader quickly realized that his pack was in danger. They were being attacked by a giant creature. For perhaps the first time in many years, Vader went out of his way to defend living beings out of a sense of real loyalty. He could have easily left them to their own battle and made his way to the outpost, but instead he did what a proper chief of the pack would do and joined in the fight. As the Sith Lord joined the battle, he made quick work of the giant creature, ending its life in a fit of rage over its insolence to attack his pack. Afterwards, Vader finally made his way to the outpost, leading his pack along the way. As he approached the small base, the three Imperials were once again slacking off and were shocked to the bone to see what came: a damaged Lord Vader who was being followed by a pack of beasts. When he approached, the three Imperials attempted to make excuses for why they didn't come to his rescue earlier, but Vader cared not and simply made his way to the shuttle. With the shuttle lifting off and Vader finally making his way off planet, the pack he led quickly turned on the three Imperials and mauled them alive. Vader later returned to Coruscant to greet the wrath of his master over his failure in protecting the first Death Star. All of the emotions he had gained during his short adventure faded away back into the coldness of his servitude to the Empire, emotions he would likely never feel again until the discovery of Luke Skywalker. As he made his way toward the Imperial Palace, Vader demanded the retrieval of his personal starfighter from the planet, as well as a dispatch of replacements to the outpost that used to be stationed by the three lazy Imperials. And with that, he returned back to the darkness of being a cruel, uncaring Sith Lord.